Hey you guys, what is going on? Popping on here with a quick little update just to check in, sort of tell you how things are going and all that sort of stuff. So obviously the upload schedule has been a little bit slow. I haven't really been putting too much care effort into it. I'm sort of thinking now that I want to try to start remembering a little bit more, start to get used to my schedule again, and I think I want to pick back up the content. Now, doesn't mean that there's not going to be a change, because there is. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish up with all the catalog videos that I've already recorded. Same goes for all the portable videos. I do have the Galaxy I still have yet to record, and I may just decide to throw that one in there anyways, just because probably won't be a summer of portables since that is now over. And then obviously the regular ceiling fan demos, which by the way, I have something exciting to tell you about them as well. So anyways, I think after I'm done with the catalogs and the portables, I think I'm just gonna cut that stuff off. It's just a whole bunch of extra content that honestly hardly benefits the channel based off what I'm looking at. I was actually doing way better when all I did was just upload one demo a week and any new fans and updates. So I think I'm going to go back to that schedule for a little bit. It was sort of fun to record some new stuff, but it just didn't really work out too well. And it's just a load of effort that in the end is just not even worth it. And it takes a lot of effort for me. Like, recording, that's no problem. All I have to do is just wait to make sure that the sound quality is good, whether that be the AC being off or whatever. Like, that doesn't take much effort. What does take a little bit more effort is trying to remember to post stuff. I have a really hard time remembering stuff sometimes. My memory is not the greatest, and for that sort of reason is more where the hard work comes in. But in terms of Friday demonstrations, those are going to be coming back, and some of them are going to be featuring a new format now, and I'm very excited to discuss this. So we're going to be keeping sort of the original format, but adding a couple new elements in, such as we have the kilowatt here, and if you watch Dan's demonstrations, you'll be familiar with all this stuff already. But yes, kilowatt, we can measure amps, watts, hertz, power factors, whatever we want to, sorry, power factors. Yeah, we can do all that. And then in here, oh, it is open, perfect, so I can show you. In here, the other thing Dan uses, the digital tachometer. Now, it works really well. It hates the north wind. It will not read the north wind, and I do not know why. It can read this one in certain positions. I think that the background is just too dark and there's not enough contrast. Yet in my bedroom, it will read my decorative. And as you know, my ceiling is white, my decorative is white. So I don't know how the hell it can read that, but not read this. I don't know. I'm going to have to do some research, see if I can figure that out. And usually you need to use these reflective strips and stuff. But because ceiling fan blades are more individual, you don't necessarily have to do that, which is kind of nice. So it just saves me a little bit of effort there. Anyways, I'm just gonna go put this thing back because I'm not in the mood to hold it all night. Anyways, so yeah, and I already recorded the Summerlin. This one went back up a while ago because I wanted to throw the new glassware on it, and I have the shorter down rod, so I want to go ahead and do all of that so I could record a little bit of a better video. Now, I do not plan on doing remakes for all of these other fans. I mean, like some of the no commentary ones, they might eventually need it, and sometime if I get bored, I might just throw something else up. I don't really know, but as of right now, I'm not planning to go crazy with doing a bunch of remakes on stuff. I've still got so many demos, so many ceiling fans here that have not been uploaded yet, that I would really like to get out of the way first, unless it's really pressing, like the original video was horrible. And I think the worst video I probably uploaded in terms of demonstrations, besides any, like the Manhattan was thrown a little out of focus, but it wasn't bad since it was only a small portion. I would say the worst video has to go to this Roma here, because the chain was clanking around. It was a disaster. It was vibrating. It was horrible. But I did do a remake of it a while back. I think I mentioned that probably in one of my update videos back when it was relevant. And like I said, in that video I did re-record that. But anyways, like most of the time, unless it's really, really pressing and necessary, I don't want to do a bunch of unnecessary remakes. Because that just then makes me have to put up the ceiling fan again. And I try not to do that as much as possible. As much fun as it is to swap out fans and do what I want with them, I don't want to constantly be messing with them just because it keeps them nice, keeps the screws and the threads nice. So I just tend to be extremely, extremely careful with that sort of thing. So I try not to overdo it. Obviously, everything is going to eventually have a remake, and that will happen at some point. Anyways, so there's all that sort of stuff out of the way. I also did order a new glass shade from my Minka Delano, or I believe it's pronounced Delano is what I've been told. I don't know, I've literally heard Delano, and Delano. I've heard all of them, but I believe Delano is the correct pronunciation, so that's just what I'm rolling with. Anyways, I did order a glass shade for it, and it didn't cost me nearly as much as expected, which is good. I don't know when it'll show up, but I'll have that. And pretty soon, I think I am planning on ordering all of the parts to complete the, where the hell is that thing? I don't even know where most of my fans are anymore. I think it's under the stairs somewhere here. But somewhere off in the abyss of new in-box fans, there is a Fanimation wrap that you might remember from the showroom haul, and that I'm going to be completing. I'm going to order some blades for it, going to order the control for it, and we will get all of that out of the way, which I'm really excited for, because then once again I'll be to the point where none of my fans really need any service that's too pressing. And in the short Delta fail, I did mention I want to rip Slumber 3 out of the Delta there. That's just the motor. The rest of it's over here, just all in parts. Anyways, I want to rip that out and throw it in the Zephyr there. It's a bit more of a complicated process, so I don't necessarily know when that's going to happen. Someday, though. Someday. And otherwise, though, I think that's about what's been going on in terms of that. One of the final things is, so one of the local showrooms now, some of you may know these people because they are the ones who are, of course, responsible for the legendary Casablanca IntelliTouch 4, or essentially the conversion kit that uses Minka Air components. I've mentioned it a couple times. It's the one Cole did a video on, the FanMan system. Well, I, like Cole, have been going there for quite a long time. Not as long as him, though, not claiming that, but I have been going there for a while. And last time I went in there, you know, obviously I'm not far away like Cole is, so it's easier for me to go there. I'm not extremely close. It's still a drive, but he was the owner was thinking that maybe a couple times a month I could come in and work, maybe do some fan repair, which would be great because the plan is they've obviously got a guy who does a lot of repair and stuff. So obviously I would start to learn how to do bearing and flywheel replacements on all sorts of fans. Really, it's Casablanca that's the hardest to do. I'd say the rest of them, it would be a little bit easier, but like I said, Casablanca is the hardest because of how they're built. And then maybe I would learn how to build the IntelliTouch 4 control conversion system and do some organizing and stuff. And once I had more knowledge then it would be a whole lot easier for me to do what I want to do with the Delta. And I can't go there all the time. That would have to be something I would do on my own time eventually once I'm out of school. However, I think what I'm planning on hopefully doing is a couple times a month going there and doing some of that. And obviously that would be a great thing to do because in terms of servicing fans, I would say that my knowledge is honestly acute. It's not the best. I can do some things, but not an extreme amount, not what I want to be at. And at some point I was going to ask if they could just show me how to do some repairs, but this worked out instead. And nothing is 100% set in stone, but my dad has agreed maybe 1 or 2 times a month to take me out there, so that would definitely be a fun thing. You know, fans are something I love, and being able to work with fans, a lot of collectors have been lucky enough to work in some showrooms, and I'm lucky enough to have been offered a job at probably one of the most famous showrooms besides places like Texas Ceiling Fans and some other places. But, yeah, oh, and one other thing I do want to mention before I leave here, because I think I've about talked about everything that I can here. I still have a whole crap load of short content, and I may decide to just pick a day to upload that sometime, because I do have a lot. At one point, I was just on a kick where I was like, you know what, I'm feeling inspired, let's make some shorts, and I've got like 10 of them now. So, so that could easily be uploaded like every week for a few months, so, or maybe a couple times a week. I don't know, maybe on all of my open days, I'll just upload shorts for now until I run out of them, and I definitely don't want to necessarily end the shorts either. I do like recording them, and they do also sort of boost channel performance, which is always a good thing. Fame and fortune isn't necessarily, well, fortune, this is a fan YouTube channel. I'm not going to be like freaking PewDiePie or something. But anyways, no, it's like, that's not the most important thing to me. Well, yeah, it's nice to have a following and have a group of followers, which I actually do have, by the way. Shout out to those of you who literally are chomping at the bit for every single new video. I know there's a couple of you out there, because I have been told by said people, so shout out, you know who you are, especially Case and the Fan Collector. You are one of the people that I'm mentioning. I know you'll probably be watching this, so shout out to you there. But anyways, yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off, because I'm sort of just running out of things to say. It's actually a late night. I've been doing stuff all day, so I kind of just want to shut down and unwind and that sort of thing. And before I go, just a reminder, this coming Sunday here is National Ceiling Fan Day. That is definitely one day there's no way in hell I'm forgetting. I do have a special planned, so stay tuned for that. I do actually have to run somewhere, do some stuff that day. Yes, it is fan related and also fish related. I also do kind of have a bit of a hobby with fish. Not as much as fans, but a little one. Anyways, yeah, so I've got some stuff to do. But other than that, I'm going to try to be on YouTube all the time. I mentioned this before, I believe, maybe. And I definitely mentioned that in my National Ceiling Fan Day special, because it's been pre-recorded. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to be on there all the time, and I'm so excited to see what everybody else does. So yeah, with that, I am now going to go ahead and end the video. And this Friday, if I can remember, I'm going to try to upload my test video that I did on the Summerlin here with the new setup, with the new kit and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, with that, I'm going to end the video, and I will maybe upload some stuff this week. I don't know, but for sure Friday and Sunday, I definitely want to do something. So yeah, goodbye.